Yeah, that's very important. Like, he's gonna be super dangerous if he ain't getting tired in there.
Yeah.
Think about it. Look, exactly what he said, what he did to what's his name, Paul Walker.
But again, his fight against Robert Whitaker, you're like, what the was that? Broke his jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, from a choke.
Yeah, Robert Whitaker's the fucking real deal, man. Nobody, what, Robert Whitaker? Bro, he's so good. He dog walked him.
After watching Khamzat Chimaev train, Rampage Jackson has just warned Dricus du Plessis ahead of his fight with Khamzat. On the other hand, Brendan Schaub praised Khamzat Chimaev's dominance and noted his past cardio issues are resolved, but he raised concerns about a potential fight with Dricus du Plessis due to DDP's size and durability. He believes Chimaev could control the early rounds, but the real test will come in the 4th and 5th, where lasting power and finishing ability will determine if Chimaev is truly elite.
I was a fan of Khamzat, and I've been on his train for a little bit. But the knock on him was the cardio, right? Which, you know, he had long COVID and all those issues with his lung stuff, which is completely fixed now. And then see him in here, it's like, God, he's such a monster. But that being said, against DDP, like DDP is, like Khamzat's big, right? Khamzat's big. DDP's my size. I don't know if you know.
No
this.
way.
You seen the picture of him and Bisping? Bisping's a big dude. DDP dwarfs big. DDP walks around about 240. I'm 240 right now.
At what weight class he fight?
Light heavy. DDP's huge. So he's durable and unorthodox. So the odds makers are going to say, the first round, of course, if Khamzat wins, and if it ends before 2 rounds, it's Khamzat all day. I would extend that after seeing this to even the first 3 rounds. 4 and 5 is what I want to see. I want to see Khamzat in the 4th and 5th. And if Khamzat's lighting his ass up, because DDP is going to be tough to finish. So if Khamzat's in the 4th and 5th finish him, then you got one. We got a real one.
Brendan Schaub further said the fight is intriguing because neither Khamzat Chimaev nor Dricus du Plessis has faced someone like the other. He acknowledged fan concerns about Chimaev's cardio in past fights, but noted his health issues at the time. Schaub warned that if Chimaev fights recklessly, du Plessis could have the edge, especially after his dominant performance against Robert Whitaker.
Because DDP hasn't fought anybody like Khamzat, and Khamzat hasn't fought anybody like DDP. And if you look at Khamzat's fights, again, this can be the knock on him, not from me, from the fan base. It's gonna be Kamaru Usman. If that was 5 rounds, he probably would have lost that one. Again, he was dealing with a health issue. His fight against Gilbert Burns, that was 5 rounds. You know, that was kind of back and forth. If he fights like that, which he's not going to, their odd makers are going to sway towards DDP. But again, his fight against Robert Whitaker, you're like, what the was that? Broke his jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, from a choke.
Yeah, Robert Whitaker's the fucking real deal, man. Robert Whitaker? Bro, he's so good. He dog walked him.
Moreover, Ali Abdelaziz stated that Khamzat Chimaev is completely focused and currently training in Russia, calling him one of the UFC's biggest stars. He recalled Chimaev's serious health issues after COVID-19, including vomiting blood, but emphasized that those struggles are now behind him. According to Abdelaziz, a fully healthy Chimaev is nearly impossible to beat and has the ability to overcome any opponent, including Dricus du Plessis, even in the later rounds, as he did against Robert Whitaker.
Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. How do you feel about this fight?
Everybody know I used to work with Khamzat. I love the guy. After COVID, it really messed him up. One of the craziest things I ever seen. Throwing up like blood. As far as I know now, he's in Russia, he's in camp, he's focused, he's a superstar. He's one of the biggest stars in the UFC. When you have this kind of pressure, sometimes people doesn't know how to handle it. It's hard to bet against focused Khamzat, healthy Khamzat. I think he can beat anyone on any given day. As talent, as technique, is Khamzat. If you go to the 3rd and 4th and 5th round, how this fight gonna go? I believe Khamzat can go there. Did to him what he did to Robert Whitaker. 100%, I believe this.
Coach Eric Nixon has thoroughly studied Dricus du Plessis and described him as respectful and extremely well coached. He highlighted du Plessis' impressive development since his bout with Brad and noted that he has genuinely grown into a world-class fighter. Nixon emphasized that while du Plessis may appear unpredictable in the cage, every movement is intentional, rooted in repetitive training drills. His fluid, elusive style makes it hard for opponents to establish any rhythm. To counter this, Nixon believes the best strategy is to take du Plessis to the mat and keep the fight grounded where he is less dangerous.
I'm so curious to how Khamzat and DDP plays out. I feel like DDP's going to be able to weather the storm the first 2 rounds and then start taking off the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. What do you think?
I do too. I've studied DDP a bunch. Super respectful, nice guy. He's very well coached. Just his overall development, he's jumped leaps and bounds in between that Brad fight to now being world champion. People think it looks erratic, but it's not. It's very calculated what he's trying to do. It's a lot of those same reps that he does, but there's a motion to him that's kind of hard to gather rhythm. How do you eliminate all that? Take a guy down.
Stephen Thompson offered a contrasting view, saying Chimaev will face serious challenges against Dricus du Plessis. He described du Plessis as awkward, powerful, and difficult to deal with, especially over 5 rounds. Thompson acknowledged Chimaev's improvements, but pointed to his previous cardio concerns and predicted that if du Plessis survives the early pressure, he will likely take over as the fight goes on. He leaned slightly toward du Plessis in what he believes will be a hard-fought battle.
Oh man, I think it's a tough one for Khamzat Chimaev. Du Plessis, his awkwardness makes him very difficult to deal with. He's got great grappling. He's a very strong opponent. If he can weather the storm in a five and a round fight, I'm leaning towards du Plessis. You know, we saw what Gilbert Burns did, but obviously Khamzat Chimaev, he's made some changes. You know, he's evolving. He's getting better. He's strong. Oh man, I would love to see du Plessis win it. I'm leaning towards du Plessis because I think it's a very tough fight. Very tough fight. Khamzat's notorious for fatiguing later on in the rounds, and if it's a 5-round fight, du Plessis it is.
Caio Borralho expressed confidence in Khamzat Chimaev's chances, arguing that most fighters prepare incorrectly for his unique wrestling style. Unlike typical wrestlers, Chimaev deploys a hybrid MMA wrestling system that many underestimate. Borralho stressed that game plans which focus solely on traditional wrestling to stop takedowns will fall short. Instead, opponents must study Chimaev's specific system and anticipate his next move rather than merely reacting.
Khamzat fighting against Dricus, who do you think he wins?
I think Khamzat is gonna win because I don't see anyone preparing properly for Khamzat. They are bringing wrestlers to train them to defend takedowns and all that, but Khamzat doesn't do the normal stuff. Khamzat doesn't do wrestling. He does MMA wrestling. It's different. You need to understand his system, what he wants next. You need to understand this first, and then you start to prepare for him. And I think Khamzat is going to win for me.
Mateusz Gamrot called the matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis an exciting and intriguing fight. He praised Chimaev's elite wrestling and physical strength while also expressing respect for du Plessis, whom he has met a few times and likes personally. Despite acknowledging du Plessis' skills, Gamrot said he doubts du Plessis can neutralize Chimaev's grappling. He ultimately leaned toward Chimaev as the more likely winner.
Oh, this is interesting matchup. Chimaev is really high-level wrestler and he is strong. I like Dricus. He meet a couple times. It's hard to prediction, but I don't think so that Dricus will stop wrestling Chimaev. And I think maybe Chimaev will beat this guy.
Ariel Helwani believes du Plessis will adapt and improve throughout the fight. He suggested that if the fight reaches the middle to late rounds, du Plessis will begin to figure out Chimaev's game. Helwani sees this as a valuable in-fight learning curve that could turn the tide in du Plessis' favor as the bout progresses.
I think DDP figures it out. I think he takes him to deep water and he figures it out. And I think it's like a learning lesson for him and all this stuff.
I like it.
Yeah.
TJ Dillashaw discussed Khamzat Chimaev's approach to defeating Dricus du Plessis, emphasizing that conditioning will be the deciding factor. He acknowledged Chimaev's strength, superior grappling, and solid striking skills, but warned that without strong cardio, those advantages might fade. Dillashaw believes if Chimaev cannot secure an early finish, he risks getting worn down. He said that with proper cardio preparation, he would confidently pick Chimaev to win, but without it, du Plessis could take over in the later rounds.
How are you going to train Khamzat Chimaev to beat DDP?
Cardio. I just don't think he has the gas tank. If he doesn't finish DDP, to win this. Because he's good. He's strong. His grappling's better. He's got good technical striking. I would put a lot more money on Chimaev if he trains the right way for his cardio. If he doesn't train his cardio the right way, I think it's going to be hard for him to put DDP away, and DDP's going to get him in the later rounds and gas him out. DDP ain't going to get tired.
Jason Mayhem Miller underscored the complexity of the matchup. He lauded Chimaev's fusion of European kickboxing striking and elite grappling, questioning du Plessis' ability to defend and counter effectively.
Khamzat, this kind of thing is, all right, so now do you counter wrestle? Do you find your striking exchanges working when you push the guy backwards, and can you do that without overshooting and getting taken down? Do you want to get taken down and make a scramble and this? No, probably not. Du Plessis has work cut out for him. Like, he has to kind of figure this enigma out of a dude who can kickbox pretty good with this European style kickboxing and also really high level grappling. I don't know. I think it'll come down to who's in the best shape, who's the best conditioned. That's really the end of that. Happy birthday, August 16th. We're going to see that one.
Mayhem leaned toward Chimaev as the likely victor, citing his lifelong grappling roots that allow him to conserve energy and remain relaxed during exchanges. He noted that while Du Plessis is strong, much of that size comes from added muscle, which might limit his endurance in sustained grappling battles.
Chimaev, you know, because he has like this special ingrained, and I say this because you start the kids young and they just get a little extra something, you know, there's a little bit of extra feel. There's another 10,000 hours put on top of their athleticism because they've been doing this for so long, grappling especially. And Du Plessis is an excellent grappler, but what it comes down to is being able to relax during those grappling exchanges and not use that much energy. His body is big, but he's like a bigger human being, not necessarily just a big muscle-bound guy like Du Plessis. He's like Du Plessis has the frame of a lighter man, but has put on muscle to compete at the higher weight class. Yeah, Chimaev might have an edge. Might be an upset there.
Azamat Bakoev pointed out that despite being champion, Dricus Du Plessis is still underrated by many fans. While acknowledging Khamzat Chimaev's talent and success against elite opponents, he described their matchup as very evenly matched. Bakoev gave Chimaev a slight advantage, but emphasized that the fight is difficult to call.
Everybody underestimates the champion, Dricus Du Plessis, but I think it's going to be not easy fight for Khamzat Chimaev. But Khamzat Chimaev also strong. He destroyed a lot of fighters, and but I still think it's going to be close fight, and who knows who's gonna win? Maybe 55%. So it's Chimaev. Like that.
Michael Bisping urged caution regarding Chimaev's takedown attempts, pointing out that Du Plessis is no stranger to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and once submitted an entire black belt team. He praised Chimaev's move to middleweight and his performance against Whitaker, but emphasized Du Plessis' recent rise. A 10-fight win streak at UFC, 2 title defenses, a submission of Israel Adesanya in round 4, and 2 wins over Sean Strickland, including a split decision victory at UFC 297.
And I'm telling you, he's going to try and finish Dricus Du Plessis straight away. And that's his best bet. Now, Dricus Du Plessis, this man's on fire, right? He's 23-2 overall. He's on an 11-fight win streak. He's got 10 wins in the UFC. And of course, this will be his 3rd title defense. He beat Sean Strickland by unanimous decision. He choked out Israel Adesanya in the 4th round. And he took the belt, as we know, in a close split decision victory over Sean Strickland way back at UFC 297. But they always say when you become the champion, you get 30% better. This man is improving all the time. He's got tremendous grappling of his own.
Bisping warned that underestimating Du Plessis could backfire and that Chimaev will need more than just strength and volume to win.
If Khamzat Chimaev thinks that he's going to go out there and just take down Dricus Du Plessis and just choke him out, right, like he's some schmuck, like he doesn't know what he's doing, like he's not someone that choked out an entire black belt jiu-jitsu team one after the other, then I think Khamzat Chimaev will be in for a rude awakening. Now, of course, since Khamzat Chimaev moved up to 185 pounds, he's looked phenomenal, okay? The way that he destroyed Robert Whitaker, that was so impressive.
Alexander Gustafsson highlighted Khamzat Chimaev's elite wrestling and grappling as a significant advantage. While acknowledging that Dricus Du Plessis may be bigger, he believes Chimaev's strength compensates for the size difference. Gustafsson emphasized that the clear gap in grappling ability could ultimately determine the fight's result.
You're 2-3 weight classes above him. How strong is he? Because I've seen he's a good training partner for you.
Yeah, no, he's very natural, strong, and he has very strong genes, and he just comes with raw power. All his power just comes from nature.
Just natural.
Natural, yeah.
So guys, to get the full All-Stars experience,
Chael Sonnen clarified that taking Du Plessis down is much easier said than done, noting that no one has managed to control him long term. He pointed out the depth and excitement of the middleweight division, calling it one of the most competitive eras ever.
I mean, this isn't a simple fight where you go, well, go out and take him down. It's like, yeah, good luck. Go out and take him down. Yes, true. And then you got to hold him there once you do it. Oh, and by the way, nobody else has taken down and held Dricus there. Like, this fight is starting to look different. The entire division is starting to look different. There's never been a time that 185 pounds has had such a spotlight on it. I'm watching this guy, Kyle Barrow, myself. I'm thinking this guy might quietly be the real assassin of that division, but that's not easy to say. I think Bo Nickel go all the way to the top. And I think that DeRinner is greatly underrated. And I don't think Sean Strickland is ready to move on just yet. Like, 185 is a really exciting proposition.
Sonnen leaned toward Chimaev as the favorite, but admitted uncertainty about how Chimaev will finish the fight. He argued that the first round is crucial. A successful early takedown could lead to a dominant performance, but if Du Plessis defends it effectively, he may grow stronger as the fight continues.
Is it a surprise that Chimaev is a favorite? No, I would expect him to be. But I also feel as though if I were predicting this today, I would lean Chimaev. As long as you didn't ask me a follow-up question. Like, if I told you, hey, I think Chimaev's going to beat Dricus, okay, great. If we all get up and walk out of the room, we're fine. The problem is if you're going to ask me how. How is he going to beat him? Because I am not fully confident that Chimaev can take him down at will. I'm not fully confident he can keep him there. We're going to know in the very first round. If Dricus gets taken down in the first round, things are going to unravel very quickly. But if he can defend a takedown for the entire first 5 minutes, it's only going to get easier to stay on your feet after that. It's an exciting match. I would expect Chimaev to be the favorite. And he is.
Bo Nickel stressed the crucial role of elite grappling in today's MMA, citing Khamzat Chimaev as a prime example of how powerful wrestling can dictate top-level fights. He also referenced fighters like Islam Makhachev and Merab Dvalishvili to illustrate the growing dominance of grapplers in the sport. Additionally, Nickel noted that experience in later rounds could be important, highlighting Dricus du Plessis' ability to perform well in championship rounds if the fight extends.
Just based on the styles, I just think the grappling style, I might be biased. I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Merab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking, but his background is wrestling. He did that before anything else. And so it's really wrestlers that are dominating, grapplers that are dominating the sport right now. And so I think that I would give the edge to Khamzat, but we still have yet to see Khamzat ever fight a fourth and a fifth round. We've seen that from DDP. And so that's where he would have the advantage. If it goes deep, fourth and fifth round, I think that DDP might be able to pull it out. But, all in all, I think the grappling style is definitely an overwhelming style to try to deal with.
Demetrius Johnson warned that if Chimaev fails to finish early, he may fade as the rounds progress, referencing past bouts with Burns and Usman where dominant positions did not result in finishes. He believes Du Plessis' unpredictable, lanky style combined with constant pressure will give him an advantage. Johnson argued that Chimaev's athleticism and traditional grappling framework may not be enough to neutralize Du Plessis' unconventional style. Should Chimaev not figure things out quickly, Du Plessis is the one likely to take over.
Chimaev cannot get him down.
He will, but yeah.
But let's say he does get him down.
Yep.
And he doesn't finish him, right? I think he's spent. Because you look at his fights. You look when he fought Gilbert Burns. When he fought Kamaru Usman. He had Kamaru Usman fully mounted, back hooks and everything, right?
Yep.
Working for the choke, pounding him, could not finish him.
Couldn't get him.
The rest of the time, he could not find it was shadow boxer. Granted, he might be sick or whatever.
Yep.
But if he cannot figure it out within those first 2 rounds or the first round he gets him down, I think DDP is gonna do what he does best.
Yep.
He's gonna be awkward. He's gonna be ha ha ha, you know, do the kicks, and I think DDP is gonna beat him.
Yeah,
like
I could see it.
I think Khamzat Chimaev is more athletic, more traditional, but I think that awkwardness of the old what did he say? The lanky man style.
Yep.
I think DDP is gonna put in the bag.
Tim Welch commended Chimaev's growth and composure, particularly when facing top-tier fighters, and expressed curiosity about a potential matchup with Sean Strickland because of Strickland's solid defensive skills. He also emphasized Du Plessis' talent for disrupting opponents mentally, suggesting that if Du Plessis unsettles Chimaev, the fight could become emotionally charged and unpredictable.
I would love to see Khamzat versus Strickland too. Khamzat said in training, I submitted him multiple times. In a fight, it's a little different. And Strickland, you've seen Strickland get dumped before. He is an expert at getting up. He's really good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu. But just like you said, can you survive the first 3 minutes with that dude? Gnarly.
That's fire.
I miss the crazy Khamzat, but now that he's getting into these top 5 elite guys, I mean, it's probably better that he's not crazy Khamzat.
Dude, I mean, that looked like crazy Khamzat to me.
All week being respectful of the press conferences, respectful of like everything.
Yeah.
It was a lot different than he used to be.
DDP has a way of poking at opponents too, though, so he might be able to pull that crazy Khamzat back out of him.
I'd love to see DDP beat him.
Jamahal Hill leaned toward Du Plessis, citing his consistent ability to prove doubters wrong. He pointed to Du Plessis' superior endurance and strength, highlighting signs that Chimaev has faded in past fights as later rounds wore on. Hill also praised Du Plessis' unpredictable striking style, believing it will land key shots. Though he warned against dismissing Chimaev's exceptional innate grappling, Hill sees Du Plessis as the more complete and dangerous fighter moving into the later stages.
I probably favor DDP in that one, just for the simple fact of I've doubted this dude so many times now, and he's shut me up bad every time. It may look like he's like fatiguing or he's like slowing down, but he's really not. I think he's got the better cardio. His physical strength, I believe, can pose a problem for anybody in that division. We've seen Khamzat fade over the course of rounds before. I just believe Dricus has a really, really awkward way of throwing strikes that's not easy to time, get a read on. So I believe he will land. So I probably lean more towards DDP, but you can't count a guy like Khamzat out. I believe he's one of the best natural pure grapplers. He does have the ability to throw some hands too. So it's interesting.
Ilia Topuria expressed admiration for both Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis, highlighting their friendship and mutual respect. He praised Chimaev's aggressive finishing approach and affirmed that Chimaev deserves a title shot, sharing his genuine excitement to watch the fight as a fan.
He's the man. He's a savage. He calls him his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. He's a fucking beast. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus Du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, it's gonna be a very excited fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
Robert Whitaker acknowledged the technical difficulty of defending Chimaev's takedowns, but emphasized Du Plessis' toughness and refusal to be finished. He believes Du Plessis has the grit and durability to weather Chimaev's early assault, giving him a legitimate opportunity to shift momentum and potentially capture victory as the fight evolved.
Khamzat and DDP, the next fight. Who do you think is going to walk away as the champion?
I can't see anyone really stopping Chimaev's takedowns. His takedowns are so hard to stop. It's super high level. Can DDP drag it into those later rounds? Can it get through the first grappling exchanges and then start to capitalize on his just like persistence, like doggedness to go away? Honestly, if Chimaev can't get DDP out of there, DDP wins. DDP wins almost every fight. You can't get rid of him, right? Because he's like bold, dude.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.